Hello, welcome to this edition of Inside to Boluwati Tonishola. It's another match day, but this time around, most of our attention and focus will be on the English Premier League. Don't forget, the German Bundesliga is also back. It means we have the full complement of the top leagues in Europe, where the Spanish La Liga, the biggest game has to be Real Betis against Atletico Madrid. But Real Madrid will take on Almeria. That will also be a game to look out for. But we expect Real Madrid to walk past that one. And Barcelona will take on Cadiz. Cadiz has been a thorn in the flesh for both Real Madrid and Barcelona in like the last 1-2 seasons. Let's see if the Barcelona can go through it, but I can really expect them to walk past this game and pick up all 3 points. But in this Serie A as well, you'll be seeing some exciting games. Who are also playing match day one this weekend with defending champions going away to take on new boys Frosinone. Some of the big boys may turn up this time around in this area, but all our attention will be on the English Premier League, where we have about 3 London derbies. We have Fulham against Brentford. We have Arsenal on Monday taking on Crystal Palace at the Hotspur, and Chelsea going to the London Stadium to play West Ham United. But 2 games will have all our attention this weekend. Tottenham Hotspur against Manchester United, and Manchester City versus Newcastle at the Etihad. Well, as crazy as it sounds, it seems more like the biggest game. But let's start with Tottenham Hotspur versus Manchester United. The last 5 times these two sides play, United have scored at least 2 goals, and they did not lose any of those games. 2-2, 3-1, and so United are coming into this game probably on better record, better run. And in about 68 games between these two sides in the Premier League, United have won like 44 of them. That's huge. United has recorded over almost everybody in the Premier League though. But for this game, remember against Wolves, United needed probably a false call by VAR to win the game against Wolves. Wolves had the luxury of walking past their middle stroke. It felt like United's midfield was a stream. It was all about Wolverhampton Wanderers in that game, but champion stuff. Rafa Varane got the goal from there with a cheeky cross from around Wan-Bissaka. So this one looks like United are coming in at the back of a win. Unlike Tottenham Hotspur, who struggled to get a draw in their opening match against Brentford. And the coach is caught between who plays my number 9. Should I bring back Son Heung-min to play my number 9 or stick to Richarlison? I do not think Richarlison is the man to do the job. In fact, I think Richarlison is too hyped. He believes he's the Ronaldo de Lima of Brazilian football and everything. Richarlison for me is an average player, but feels like he's the one to lead the line for them. And the coach did not start with Perisic in that game. I don't know why. I thought Perisic would add more to it. Will he go for a back 3 or go for a traditional back 4? Too many questions in the mind of the coach. But United, you should easily think and predict what United's front 3 will be for. If Rashford is playing up front, maybe Garnacho could play on the left, Bruno Fernandes behind the striker, and Jadon Sancho on the right, or Sancho on the right, Bruno behind, and of course Antonio on the left with Bruno Fernandes. Having Bruno, if you decide to play him at the holding, or even Mount and Casemiro, or Casemiro and Christian Eriksen, which I think is the best, because Mount did not do justice to his inclusion in his opening Premier League game with the new boys Red Devils. So too many questions to be asked. But like I said, based on run, United look like the favourites, but it's the second match day of the season. When Spurs played a big team on second match day, they played the Manchester Club, Manchester City. They did not lose that game, but a different coach, different players. No Harry Kane, who by the way got his first goal for Bayern Munich, which was their second goal in their win away to Werder Bremen. Harry Kane is starting probably despite the loss in the Super Cup. Maybe he's beginning to enjoy his life. He created assist for the first goal for Leroy Sané. They scored the second goal against Werder Bremen. Kane is no longer with Spurs. Definitely they will miss him. They will miss his numbers. They will miss his goals and assists. But for this game proper, it looks like a game that could end in a draw. Who knows? A narrow win for the Red Devils. And to the big game itself, Manchester City versus Newcastle. Newcastle started the season very well. A 5-1 win against a team many thought would be the dark horses. That's Aston Villa. Aston Villa did good business in the summer. Pau Torres to join the team, signing in players like Yuri Tillemans, binding with what they had last season under Unai Emery. But man, Newcastle put 5 past them. Sandro Tonali, the new boy, Ishak, who started well. Remember last season he started injured. Also, Kalawuzi came on board as well. And of course, Harvey Barnes, who knows the Premier League well. So these guys are on fire. These guys are in mad form. These guys are enjoying their games. And under Eddie Howe, who did well to an extent with Bournemouth. So These men, it's hard to predict against them. Against the Manchester City side, who we don't know. Obviously, Kevin De Bruyne is out for probably the rest of the year. We don't know how fit he was injured. He was sick. Couldn't play in the midfield. Talking about Bernardo Silva. And we do not know the injury problems in the squad. Yes, they still got Rodri, they've got Kovacic and go. But what Kevin De Bruyne and Bernardo Silva do to this squad cannot be bought. So it's Man City. It's the Etihad and it's Pep Guardiola. They can find a way to grind a result. But people have said this will talk about the league. The league, there are still 36 games after this one. Irrespective of who wins, maybe Man City, maybe Newcastle. I think it still has nothing to do with the league. It could be for bragging right here, but in terms of judging what the outcome of the Premier League will be, I think it's still a long way. But after all, I think City can still find a way to edge this one. I think it's going to be a good scoring game for both sides. I still believe City will have enough to make it. So, La Liga, Real Madrid should get a straight win. Barcelona maybe Cadiz as they've done. I still think they should do enough to win that game. And Real Betis, Atletico Madrid, Betis won in 95th minute to win against away to Villarreal last week. Atletico Madrid have a world cut out in this game. And the Premier League, the big games, Man United away to Tottenham Hotspur. I think it could end in another draw. And for City at the Etihad against Newcastle, I think I'll put my money on Pep Guardiola City. So that's our show for today. Thank you very much for listening to the edition of Inside the Boulevard to Like everyone at this time, beautiful sporting weekend. Goodbye.